A lot of people talk about building community. Creators say it all the time. Build a community, find your people, create something bigger than yourself. And honestly, it worked, but what's the next step? Or is there even a next step? Over the last few years, I've built a creative community called Silo in South Central PA, in Lancaster, Harrisburg, and all over the place. In York, there's photographers, artists, entrepreneurs, people collaborate, people meet each other, they hang out, they get to know each other well, and they get hired through it. And it's really been cool to watch it all grow. And it's been 6 years now, and I still have a very similar question. There's like one big problem that I'm trying to figure out. And everyone pitches me something new every time, but I still haven't figured this thing out. And it's actually making money. And this isn't a cry for help video. Like, I'm not losing my mind over this. I'm not losing sleep over this, but this is something that I'm thinking about for the long-term sustainability of this community. And Silo isn't going anywhere. And it's just a question that I keep coming back to. How do you take something built on trust and turn it into something sustainable? I've spent many years trying to figure this out, like I said, but community takes time, and planning of events and organizing people and hosting things and building relationships, as of right now, is just a lot of unpaid energy. And I've done a lot of other things that got me to this point, and I'm so thankful for the community, but I want to see how this can be sustainable on its own. So in this video, I want to walk through 3 things. Why monetizing community is actually really weird, and what I've tried already, and the different directions I'm thinking about going that might make this sustainable. For context, I run a creative studio. I shoot photo, video, podcasts, and everything in between professionally, and it pays the bills. Actually, I still have a full-time job at this point in my life. And this video is really about figuring out how to build a community to be able to support itself and the work behind it. I want those hours that I do organizing to be paid for, because I know a lot of people online talk about building communities, but no one talks about how they actually work as a business. So let's start with one first thing that I learned, and that monetizing community is weird. And I mean that in the best way, because the reason people join this community in the first place is because they weren't trying to buy something. And now here I am trying to give them something. They joined because they wanted connection. They joined because they wanted other creative people surrounding them. They wanted to collaborate, and they wanted to feel like they were a part of something. So the second you introduce money, the dynamic changes a little bit. It feels like everything that I've done up until this point was leading to, boom, this next thing. And that's what I've been very aware of, and where this tension is coming from, because I feel like the last thing I want is for my community to start feeling transactional. Silo has never been transactional, and I don't want it to turn into that. The vibe shifts from like, this is a group of people helping each other, to this is the product you're buying and the journey that I want you to be on to buy something from me. But this is the reason why I think community has real value. And I can tell stories time after time of people that have met at Silo, gone into the industry, the creative industry, and said, yep, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and got signed to agencies, have gotten long-term deals with big clients and models that have been signed to agencies and all this stuff. I can go into names that I've said before and time after time. And that just shows the value of people, but value does not automatically equal revenue. And I think of this thing that's going on in the culture now is like this freemium model, right? Everything, you have to give something away for free for people to trust you. And then once they've interacted with you, I think the number is now like 7 times, probably even more at this point, with the amount of stuff that's being put out into the world, then people will be willing to buy from you. And Silo has been free for so long with no intentions. Now it feels like adding an intention behind all of this would muddy the waters a little bit. And I'm wrestling with that day in and day out, how to make that worth it to people and how not to make it seem so crummy. And that brings me to what I've tried so far. The obvious step was events, and we wanted to do those. These are all things that we wanted to do. Creative meetups, hangouts at speaker nights, styled shoots, poetry slam nights, and all of these events have been amazing, and the energy is just unreal, and the people that meet together for the first time are incredible. Collaborations happen, friendships are formed, people go on walks together afterwards. Sometimes people even get work from it. So from a community perspective, events are incredible, but financially they're tricky, because you got to factor in the venue costs, the food, the decorations you set up, the advertising that goes into it. the planning, the gear, and the vendors too, like paying people to take photos while you're doing this thing. I end up taking them myself because I'm just like, I don't even have hundreds of dollars to pay other creatives that I know that they're worth. And so most events tend to break even or very close to it, which is not bad, but it doesn't really create sustainability. There's no profit margins to styled shoots. I cover my costs, I cover the vendors, the venue, and maybe walk away with $25 that I already spent on food. So at the end of the day, I walk away with nothing. You know, thinking about last year, it was Awakening. It was our styled shoot that we hosted at a big white wall studio, and we had an amazing turnout, and the tickets went exactly how I thought they would. And that's the pattern of things that have been going on recently. Great community moments. It was paid for. It was $100. We figured it out, right? Not really. And so when you think about what paid events have been in the past, I'm trying to think of where can we go in the future, right? I want to lay out a couple things for you guys, and I want you guys to give me honest feedback. Leave it in the comments or on Instagram or DM me, whatever, because I honestly need to know your thoughts. If you've seen something like this before, if you're seeing a community that's doing this well, I want to know. So let me know. But here's a couple of ways that I thought about moving forward, and I'm not sure on yet, but if one is warmer to you, let me know. The first one is the membership model, something like a yearly membership. Members get access to the events, collaborations, and maybe even resources that I produce, maybe like YouTube videos or courses. Basically making the community something that you join intentionally. You are signing your name up for these kinds of things. So let me know what you think about that one, and we can go into that more in depth later, because I think that's a strong option. I don't love the subscription model though, so that's kind of the con of that. I don't think people want to pay a reoccurring monthly rate kind of thing. But the second one is partnerships, and that is where like I would be connecting brands with creatives. Because something that Silo does really well is bring talented people together. So there might be opportunities there to connect network to brands and projects. And the third idea would be opportunities. So helping creatives land real paid work through community. And this is likely to work and is more aligned than anything because we kind of already do it, right? And the best outcomes for creatives is to get opportunities. And if the creative community can facilitate that, then we could have value for everyone. But the biggest question I keep asking myself is, if Silo worked perfectly, what would it look like? Would it be a membership? Would it be events that scale? Would it be retreats? Would it be partnerships? Would it be a combination of those things? Would it be completely different? And that's kind of where I'm at, right? The one thing I do know is that the goal isn't squeezing money out of you. The goal is making the community sustainable. So if we keep doing what we have been doing, it's going to fizzle out long term. So I want to make the time and energy that goes into building it something that I can actually keep going long term. So quick plug here. If you are new and want to create with other people and collaborate and just be around people in the South Central PA area making cool stuff, that's literally why Silo exists, and I hope you check us out. At the end of the day, here's my honest takeaway. Building community is powerful, but monetizing community, that's the hard part, because the things that make community great are the opposite of monetization. It's the trust, collaboration, and authenticity of what we're doing. And I'm struggling. I've heard so many different opinions on this, and I don't know if there's a clear business model ahead of me. And so I want to crowdsource it. And so let me know what you think. Is that partnerships, memberships, opportunities, or ways that you guys can get plugged in a more intentional way that would get value from us? Another question, if you are a part of a community, what would it actually take to make it worth you paying for? Or if you run a community yourself and you're finding this video, yo, what's up? I'd love to talk. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more videos about creative community and building things that matter, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.